Hey, good looking. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're joining me live here, thanks so much. And if you're catching this on the replay, just let me know in a comment down below how you guys are doing on your low buy or no buy. This is going to be a video about my how my no buy is going thus far. And then I want to take you guys into a little bit of a deep dive of my makeup wish list. And we're going to see if we can find some common similarities within some of the stuff that I'm wanting. And then kind of see, what it is that I'm trending towards. And if there's a way that I can consolidate some of those wish lists down a little bit. And then after my no buy, I can then have a clear view of what I actually want to purchase and what I want to get into. So welcome to another episode of Nothing New 22. Thanks so much, everybody, again, for joining me. And as you guys show up, say hi in the chat if you're available. And if not, you're catching this on the replay, that's great too. There's some really wonderful content. So last week in my live, I gave you guys 3 unconventional tips that I like to use and that have helped me this far for my 9-month no buy. And today I want to talk about what it is that I do in this next step. And I guess it would probably be that step 4, that honorable mention, if you will. So I have, since starting my no buy, I've kept a Samsung Notes ongoing kind of living document, and I've put together all of the things that I wish for, anything and everything that I would like to buy makeup related. And I would encourage anybody who's on a no buy to list and keep track of all the things that they want. And I think you'll start to see a pattern. And we're going to kind of deep dive into my wish list today, what I've seen, what I still want from past releases, and maybe kind of come up with a more consolidated list that once my no buy is over with, I can say, yes, I truly do want. Or is there something on my wish list that I'm possibly going to break my no buy for? So let's go ahead and get started in it. Hi, hello, Locke. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. I'm going to be showing you guys my wish list. And I think you're going to find some really, really fun things on there. And then maybe what I could dupe the vibes of, what I might possibly break my no buy, and why I might break that no buy. And then also how things are going on my no buy. It's not been a complete nothing new 22 no buy, but it has been a low buy. And I've went from spending $100 to $300 a month to one month I did spend about $40 on those Makeup Geek brushes. And then another month I did buy some BH Cosmetics palettes at TJ Maxx. So about $27 worth. So, I've went from $300 to now I made a purchase of $27. I can't remember if it was June or July. And then the Makeup Geek brushes. So, okay, let's go ahead. I've also got a viewfinder, for lack of a better word, because how I'm sharing my screen is just all kind of like wonky. So if I'm looking in different places, that's why. And there's no other way to transition this other than I just got to do this. Okay. All right. So here we go. This is the first thing on my no buy list, my makeup wish list, if you will. And this is the Moira Beauty Celestial Palettes bundle. I have been really interested in these palettes. Okay, so there's a set of 4 in the total bundle, and you get it for $62. It did not go on sale when they had their 20% off Labor Day sale. But there's a couple of shadows in these collections. So this green palette right here has a topper shade, which I'm a huge fan of, by the way, huge fan of topper shadows in palettes nonetheless. And then there's also one in this pink one down here. I don't know if this cool tone palette has any, by the way, I'm not able to see any comments. So you guys chat away in the comment section, keep the, conversation going, and I'll check back every once in a while, but there's just no clean way to transition other than you guys have to see the portal of endless screens. Anyways, and then there's a warm tone palette that kind of reminds me to Natasha Denona Bronze, which is also on my wish list. So comparison and similarity number one I found is that I'm a huge neutral lover. That is my jam. I love a good neutral palette. This does not disappoint. Okay. Also, while we're in here, I would love to see some of these cream shadows get added to my collection. Moira has launched not only some of these like MAC Painterly Paint Pot dupes in shades that we can all love and adore, but they also have some of these cream shadows right here. You can see them. This is the shade Infinity. I love a shadow like this. It has kind of like a duochrome vibe to it. It's really shimmery and metallic. Oh, how do I go to the next thing? I don't know. I just wanted to go to the swatches. Oh, there we go. So there's Infinity. It's kind of got that glass look, that wet look. That's super intriguing to me. However, I don't know if you guys paid attention or not to the price. The price on these puppies is $7.50. So that's like an indie eyeshadow brand price right there. So, and this, I don't know that this isn't a Chinese brand. I really don't know where Moira Cosmetics comes from. I will be honest, I don't. But, and here's another one, this wet, glassy looking shade right here. That's another one, Jupiter and Saturn, Infinity. Those are like, can you guys hear my Roomba? It's what I have to use to vacuum. So, and I have to have it running. It's got to do its job. Otherwise, it won't get done. So that's on my list first and foremost is probably the eyeshadow palette bundle, the Celestial. Those are probably my favorite. And then it's like if you condensed these 4 palettes down, this next palette would be what I would say a condensed version would be. And that is the Glaminatrix Nearly Natural palette. That is super cute. Now, the reason I haven't duped the vibes of this palette yet is because not very many people have gotten this other than people who have gotten it and received it in PR. And I really want to see a couple more reviews, not because it's like, oh, I want to make my own judgments and I want to judge it harshly or anything like that. I like to see a variety of swatches and different lightings because these shadows are incredible. They're super sparkly. This one right up here, Naked Eye, I think that's a shadow topper, as well as Nearly Natural. I believe that's a shadow topper as well. I'm going to go ahead and toggle back. It's not really going to be pretty, but I do kind of want to check out what you guys are saying about some of these. So just a second here. Okay. So did you get the Moira palettes? That's amazing. And what highlighter palettes are you talking about? So Kendi here, she's late to the game on reviewing, but nonetheless, so I will wait on your review, just to let you know, I will wait on your review before I choose to buy or not. If you buy the bundle, they don't ever stack on any codes. I do know that much, unless they're doing like a Black Friday site-wide type thing, which we already know site-wide doesn't always mean site-wide. Okay, Julia's Place. Oh my goodness. So Locke has ordered the Nearly Neutral palette. you have ordered the Nearly Neutral palette. You'll have to let me know how it goes and also post some swatches to Instagram. I know you probably will. But that's your homework assignment. So we're going to go ahead and head back over and take a look and see what else. But that Nearly Natural palette, I feel like the Moira palettes, those 4 condensed down to 1 and then amped up in like flavor and spice and formula and sparkliness and glitteriness and shininess and shimmeriness is the Nearly Natural, because it's indie. That's what I feel. So, all right, we're back on it. So we left off with the Nearly Natural palette. The next thing, this is no surprise to you guys. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go ahead and click off of your thing. Here we go. Okay. The What's Up Beauty brushes. Now, I was told before I get anything else that I must get these brushes. Yes. Okay, so some of these brushes they are made in Japan. So that's number 1, why I want to get them. Number 2, I know I said that I only wanted to review synthetic brushes, and I had started out the year setting out thinking, okay, that's what I want to do. And then I actually found someone that spoke about why they review natural hair brushes on their channel. And it's something along the lines of, you either A, use the natural hair brushes, or B, if you're using synthetic, the way that they manufacture the synthetic bristles causes a lot of waste and a lot of byproducts that they have to like dispose of and get rid of. And it costs a lot of money. And it also is not very good on the environment either. So it's kind of like half a dozen in one, 6 in the other. So I've kind of shifted my viewpoint, or really just like more enlightened myself on it's okay to do natural and it's okay to do synthetic, and whichever one you choose, that's okay. So long story short, these brushes, they're made in Japan. So they are like of Fude quality. This looks like the Refer 03, that pencil brush. This right here doesn't look like any of the rougher brushes. However, it does look like the old school MAC 221. And this brush right here looks like one of the rougher brushes that I own. And I don't remember, it's like maybe the 14 or the 15, perhaps. It's one of the bigger blending brushes. But anyways, I seen Kendi using it in her video, and I was like, oh, I want the brushes. But alas, brush reviews take a long time. They're generally not high performing videos at first. They're generally just really good endurance types of videos. So you have to be willing to like take a hit in the beginning. Sorry, my phone's going off. Oh boy, what was that? Hopefully nothing important. Okay. So anyways, moving along, I do want to eventually look into getting some of these brushes. I know that they're probably like 2 years old at this point, a year old at this point. I know that the Moira Cosmetics launched this year, the Nearly Natural launched this year. These are probably like 2 years old. So I'm kind of keeping track of that as well. There's a lot of stuff that I want that's not necessarily new. So I'm kind of keeping that in the back of my mind as well. Okay, next, moving on. This is new. This collection's newer. It is the Divina Cosmetics Moonscapes. These look amazing. They look like Pat McGrath's special shades, maybe even possibly better. I could really see myself using these on an everyday basis, and I can see myself using them in a lot of the palettes that I like dupe the vibes of, or what I'm using instead. So that's definitely something in the foremost front. That'll probably be a purchase after my no buy. Divina's, they're amazing, and they stay on my eyes too. So that's like all the more reason I should own them, right? Because like only 2 brands stay on my eyes, and Divina's one of them. But anyways, this whole collection is amazing. Are we just going to hear this like all day long? Stop with the notifications. Okay. This next one is not indie. It's not anything. It's out of the ordinary. It's out of the ordinary, but let me just preface this with I love the Breakfast Club movie. It is my second favorite movie, only second to John Hughes' other production of 16 Candles. And the only reason that I like 16 Candles more is because I just feel like Jake Ryan, he's so hot. I love Jake Ryan. He was like my little high school crush when I would see these movies and stuff. So I actually want the Breakfast Club. Now, here's the thing. This is a limited edition. I think it says here. It's limited edition. Is that going to make it too small? Yes, it is. No, don't do that. Why don't we make it bigger? I'm just going to leave it on this right here. Okay, so the palette, again, muted neutrals. Muted neutrals. So neutral eyeshadow palette. We're seeing a trend here. I love neutrals. We're also seeing the trend of, I do like color, but it has to be an earth tone color. So like the purple, it's purple, but it's like earthy purple. It's like a deep, rich purple. It's not like a vibrant purple. It's not neon. It's not pastel. It's not like a glittery purple. The only types of glittery shadows that I really truly like are, you know, something like what Davina put out with their moonscapes. I really, really love those. Those are the types of glittery shades that I like. They're more neutral. But anyway, so the face palette, I have a Physicians Formula face palette and I use it all the time. I use it all the time. And it is so handy to have a blush. Here, let me go ahead and bring up the whole thing. So there it is. It's so incredibly handy to have your blush, bronzer, and highlight in one palette. You don't have to think too much. They travel really well. Just love it. I'm going to go ahead and go back. So we're going to have to go to, you know, the crazy transition here for a second, but I'm back. And see about the comments section. So hopefully I'm not scaring anybody away with my notifications going off. Okay. It's like I almost kind of want to see because there was a text message and I thought I had seen a number come in that might be of importance, like the school. That'd be important. Okay, let's go ahead to move back over to the Physicians Formula. So definitely want the eyeshadow palette and the face palette. Now, it's limited edition. So that means once it's gone, potentially it could be gone. I am considering breaking my no-buy for this. And for this particular reason, it's a reasonably priced item. It's not like a mothership palette that's launching, that's in the permanent collection. And, you know, I could buy it 2 years from now. This is kind of my understanding. This is it. When it's sold out, it's sold out. Good luck trying to get it, you know. And I don't mind buying off of second, like, you know, the gently used shops like Mercari and Poshmark. However, it's a nostalgic thing for me. So I kind of want to own it for the whole purpose of I like this movie and I like 16 Candles. And Molly Ringwald is in both The Breakfast Club and she's also in 16 Candles. And she's in Pretty in Pink, which is also another John Hughes production. But, you know, you guys don't care about that. Okay, here's a new collection. Drugstore, affordable, not probably coming to the United States. Essence Cosmetics. They are launching a fall collection and it's called Pumpkin's Pretty Please collection. We don't even know if it's going to be here in the United States or not. So this is just really pretty. I put it on my list because I would really love to own it, but chances are I don't think it's going to come to the United States. A lot of their palettes don't come to the US. However, I feel like this is marketing to to like the US market. Like we like our pumpkin spice lattes. So that's like a huge thing. So I would be surprised if it didn't, but everything in this collection looks amazing. The lipstick looks amazing. Lip gloss looks beautiful. Even right down to the fingernail polish. Oh my goodness. I love those two colors. I would wear those two colors. Now, this is like an eyeliner and a mascara, I think. Really, really cute. I like it. Have it on my list. Okay, so that is it for my wish list. I've got other stuff on my wish list, like the Natasha Denona bronze palette. Yeah. So I have like the Natasha Denona bronze palette, the glam palette. I'll probably always want those, but unless she does a buy one get one, it's just like I have these shadows already. It's just worth mentioning, in my opinion, to kind of like consolidate and kind of understand like what type of makeup I have. So what's this? Ooh, Salt New York. Now this is something that I also want. The Salt New York palette. This has been out for like 4 or 5 years. I don't know why I never bought it when it first came out. I couldn't tell you why I never bought it. Well, actually I could. By the time I was ready to pull a trigger, it sold out, and it does frequently go out of stock. I first found out about this brand. Was it YouTube? I don't know. It was somebody on YouTube was reviewing them. It was Samantha Ravendall. Yeah. Samantha Ravendall had the palette, and she like made her own custom palette of neutrals or something like that. And she said that this is Salt New York palette, blah, 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 blah. I'm interested in getting this mainly for the reason of, I put out a video. I'll go ahead and link it for you guys, probably in the description box. I don't know if live streaming you can actually put in cards or not, but if not, I will try and put that in. I put out a video on which empty magnetic palettes I thought you guys should own, depending on your needs and things like that. Almost none of those palettes are being sold anymore. Whether the brands are shut down and closed, or they just don't manufacture those palettes anymore. That is the reality of the situation. And I think the video is only like 18 months old. So this goes to show you how quickly things go in and out of, season. I know I had Makeup Geek palettes in there. I had Coastal Scents palettes in there. I had the AOA, the Shop Miss A palettes in there. None of those are sold anymore. Coastal Scents and Makeup Geek closed. So now what, And it's like, yeah, I could recommend Z palette. I don't even know where my Z palette went. And it's looking better and better all the time. However, I always kind of thought that it really wasn't worth your money to spend, $20 on a small 20 pan Z palette when you could get, the Coastal Scents cheaper. But now I see why, because they're going out of business. So there's the bronze palette. Really beautiful. Again, neutral, and it's warm toned. And the color that is featured in this is like reddish bronzes, and then that blue. They're, again, earth tone colors. So just something to note. And I don't know why, but I still want this palette. I don't know why. I have the Mimosa and the Blueberry palette. That's what I kind of splurged on. And I broke my no-buy for the second time. And I have to say, they have those I don't know if they're kind of like sparkler shadows or whatnot, but they're really, really cute. Oh, here we go. So now, if I was going to dupe the vibes of this palette, I have a shade like Superfood in Sydney Grace. And then Avo Toast is, I forget what the shade is called in Sydney Grace, but I also bought it. And I think it was from their Mountain Trail bundle that they brought back. There's a kind of a olive grassy green. I don't have any shades like Ripe. If I did, they would be like a Coastal Scents shadow. And I don't hate Coastal Scents shadows. I like their mattes, not particularly fond of their shimmers. They do stay on my lids fairly well, but they don't ever look very shiny on my lids. I can never get them to look very shiny. This shade Extra down here, I believe, is also kind of like a Celestial Sparkler shadow, but it has some pigment in it too. So it's just like texture. You get some texture at a decent price. Still want it. It's discontinued, however. But anyways, I think that's it. Yeah. Oh, one last one. Flower Beauty launched single chrome pots. And I would love to try out. It's that season. It's the fly season. I would love to try out their chrome pots, particularly the bronze foil shade in topaz. I would love, love, love to try that out. They have some foils. So their prism, which is like a slatey blue. I like it. I think it's cute. Along with their jade is also a foil. And then they've got a burgundy shimmer, which is a shimmer shade. And let me go ahead and show you. Although the texture doesn't look too bad. And then they've got a copper shade. Funny enough, I'm not a huge copper fan. I don't reach for those shadows, even though those would be extremely appealing on my eyes, or, you know, complementary to my eyes. But anyways, I would choose topaz. I think it's really pretty. It's like the perfect one and done shadow, in my opinion. Okay. So that is it. That's kind of what I'm dealing with here. So that's my wish list, right? And now that I've made my wish list and I revisit it, say a couple times a month, maybe, or whenever I go to add another product on that wish list, I go up and I look and see, like, what else do I have on my wish list? You know, what else do I have? And then how does it correlate? And you start to begin to see a trend. You see a trend of, like, I kind of like makeup that's not, like, just comparing brands here, I kind of like makeup that's not really like on trend. Glaminatrix is a very trendy indie brand, but Moira is one of those. Oh, you enjoyed 16 Candles? Yeah, it's my favorite. That's my favorite of the John Hughes. And Breakfast Club would be my second. So when I saw the Breakfast Club launch, I was like, oh, I have to have it. And it's limited edition, so I'm kind of torn. I don't want to be like, oh, I really regret that. But it's like, I regret not getting the avocado toast palette. I really do. I really regret it. And my lash is sticking to me. I don't know who is messaging me, but they need to quit. Just wait. Yes. So I'm definitely going to wait for a Black Friday sale on any of this. Technically, my no buy ends December 8th. So if I cut it short a week, so be it. You know, I'll still give myself the credit that I did it for a year. I mean, really, in retrospect, nothing new 22 for me was, can I reduce the amount of consumption, or about, you know, can I reduce the amount of products that I'm buying? I look back at some of the stuff that I've bought, and it's like, I bought that MAC Feast Your Eyes, the Tempting Fate palette. And while it's like the exact type of color story that really intrigues me, that was like a $54 palette. Flies. Do you see it? Did you see it? That's really like, I mean, it correlates to all these other palettes that I want, but it's like, I could have saved my money, even though I didn't know that the Glaminatrix Nearly Natural palette was going to launch this year. I could probably guess just as well as anybody else. They're going to launch new, you know, naturals and neutrals, because the pendulum always swings the other way. And last year we saw some really, really like pastels and neon palettes, I feel like. So, I mean, sometimes just waiting and having your list is enough to, you know, really help you decide what really truly you want to bring in. The goal of my channel and my makeup collection is, I want to make it a carefully curated collection. I don't want it to be like overwhelming amounts of makeup that I'm bringing into my collection to the point that I can't organize it. I can't display it. I don't know where stuff is. This is no shade, no tea to anybody that does have this problem or anything like that. For me personally, though, I don't want that. I want to strive for like a smaller collection that helps me to focus on like what I really love. I really just want to focus on bringing in what I really like and what I really enjoy. And I think most people have that idea in mind too, but then they just find themselves buying, you know, all these palettes or all these foundations or all these highlighters or whatever they're interested in. And it becomes really, really overwhelming really quickly. So, yeah. That's it. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, guys, live. If you're catching this on the replay, you can let me know down below in the comments section. And as always, thanks so much. And I can't wait to see you guys in my next live stream. Bye.